Today I'm going to show you how to do a paper weaving. So you're going to start with a piece of paper and you're going to fold it in half. Then with a pencil on the edge that has the fold, not the edge that opens, you're going to draw some lines. Don't draw it till the lines go to the top. You want to stop about 1 inch or 2 from the top of your paper. Your lines don't all have to be straight. You could do curvy, you could do zigzag. You are going to cut these out, so don't make them too difficult. But you'll notice how I did not go all the way to the top of the paper. I stopped right about there. Then while it's still folded, you're going to take scissors and you're going to cut on your lines. Now remember, you're not cutting to the top of your paper. You're going to stop at the lines at about 1 inch or 2 from the top. Now when you do draw your lines, I recommend not doing any that overlap or loop on itself, because then you're going to have a hole in your paper. Okay, last one from me. I also didn't draw my lines too close to the sides of the paper because I don't want it to rip. So now when I open my paper, I have all different lines. My paper is still connected to itself. Nothing falls off. Then you're going to take a second piece of paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into strips. Now you can use multiple colored pieces of paper, you can use newspaper, it is up to you, but I'm going to cut them all into straight line strips. If you want to get fancy, you can cut them into curvy lines, but then you're going to have to remember the order that you cut it in. So I'm going to keep cutting all of my strips. And we are going to use these strips and we are going to weave it through. So right now the purple paper is my loom, and the loom is what holds my warp in place and my weft. So the black paper is going to be my weft, W-E-F-T. Alright, I'm almost done. You don't want these to be too thick. Okay, so I kind of kept my papers in order as I was cutting them too, which makes it a little bit easier for later. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go over the first cut, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, over the fifth, under the sixth, and then I'm going to slide it all the way to the top like this. Now my next one that I'm going to do, I'm going to do the opposite. So if I was over here, I'm going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, and then I have to smush it and slide it all the way to the top so it touches. Do you see my nice little zigzag pattern that I'm getting? Okay, I was underneath on this one, so I'm going to go over, over, under, over, under, over, under, and slide it to the top. Alright, so I was over top here, so I'm going to go under, over, under. Uh-oh, you can tell that I made a mistake. So you know I made a mistake because I have them showing on the same spot, which means over here, I didn't go over, under. I went under, under. So I'm going to slide that out, and I'm going to do that again. Under, over, under, over, under, over, and slide it as high up as I can. Alright, so I was under here, so I'm going to go over top, under. It might take a little bit of wiggling to make it happen. Over, under, slide it to the top. Ready? Under, over, under, over, under, over, slide it to the top. Now, right now, I probably do not have enough room to squeeze in another one, so I have two options. I can leave it as is, or I can make this a little bit skinnier. It's up to you. I'm going to leave it as is and just have a big, slightly bigger opening at the bottom. But my next step is to take a glue stick, and I'm going to put a little glue underneath each of the flaps on the sides. On the front, and on the back. Now, like I said, you can do this with multiple colors of paper. You can make a pattern and do red, blue. You could do it with painted paper. So using maybe a watercolor paper that you painted first and then you cut up would make a really great weaving. So this is my back because I have my pencil lines on it. And that, my friend, is how you make a paper weaving.